Hi everybody, this is Kevin from Texas Yardman and More. Today I received my knife that I ordered off of Amazon. It's the Purple Dragon Chef knife. It's a boning knife for meat cutting. It's hand-forged butcher knife. I decided to buy this knife because I'd seen some other people out there on YouTube, and they said that it was a fairly decent knife. This one was fairly inexpensive, and I just thought I would give it a shot. Nothing to lose, really. But I'm going to go ahead and open this up just to show you exactly what you get. And I had ordered the boning knife, but on the packaging here, you can see it states that it's a 5.4-inch meat cleaver. So I'm not sure if this was just a mix-up, but we're going to go ahead and open it up and find out. Here is the actual paperwork I printed off from Amazon, and you can see it was only about 17 bucks, but I have no problem with buying knives. Some of my best knives, believe it or not, are inexpensive knives, and I sharpen my own knives, so this one was kind of shown to be a really sharp knife, so we'll see here. And let's open it up. So I've got a little knife here. We'll just take the packaging off of this, and it comes in a really nice box. Let's just take this cellophane off. And I'm not getting paid by these people to feature this knife or anything. This is just my own review. Let's open it up and see if they gave me what I ordered, or if it's something different. So comes in this, and yes, it is what I ordered. I don't know, it comes with these little plastic blade protectors. And I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff, let's see if there's anything in here. Nope, nothing in there. So let's put this to the side. And here's the knife. And it looks like it has a little hole in here. So you can slide your fingers in here when you're kind of rocking and chopping or dicing. And right now the knife, it's contoured to your hand. I've got big hands, so it's really contoured nicely. It's a heavy knife, you know, probably I'd say intermediate, and I like how it feels in my hand. And I'm just going to go ahead and be careful if you do this, but I'm just doing it very lightly. I want to see how sharp it is. Ooh, and it feels, I'm just barely rubbing my thumb across the blade, and it feels super sharp. So be very careful when you're handling this. Only do this if you feel comfortable. And I've got some meat here. I'm going to be making some fajitas tonight, so I'm just going to give it a test. Let me try the paper test real quick, just to show you. Grab a piece of paper here, and I've got some of this that I printed off that was part of the order. Let's see if it, and it cut it really nice. It's pretty sharp. And I'm going to go ahead and just rinse this in the sink right here. And I've got a towel right here. I can dry it off. Anytime you buy something new, you always want to make sure you wash it with some soap and water. But I've got some meat here that I'm going to take out, and this has been thawing for a little bit. It's still kind of cold, and it's better to cut meat when it's cold or chilled, but let's just cut some of this meat up. And this knife is working very nicely. It cut off some of that fat. And let me just, it goes right through this meat. It's like a hot knife through butter. I like sharp knives. I process deer, and I do a lot of cooking of steaks and things like that, chicken, fish, and for the money you can't really beat this. This is super sharp. I'm really liking it already. For less than 20 bucks. This knife is very inexpensive and it's super sharp. So I'm just going to cut up some more strips. We're going to make fajitas, so you want to make sure you get some nice strips. And you could even cut these even thinner. And chopping off some of this fat. Just be very careful. This knife is sharp, like I said. So it really helps when your meat is chilled. And I'm sure it would do just fine if it wasn't chilled. And I've got some nice strips of meat here for fajitas. And we'll get this out of the way. And let's finish this last piece of meat up. I'm having no problems cutting this meat. And you know, if it's cutting meat just fine, it's going to cut vegetables. But we're going to cut a few vegetables here next that we're going to use when we cook these fajitas. I'm going to do some onions, and I've got a plate here, a glass bowl that we'll put these in. And there's our meat strips. And we can cut off some of the fat. I don't mind fat on meat. Fat is actually, I don't know how healthy it is for you, but fat is actually required in your diet. I'm going to cut this big piece off. You can see big piece of meat and fat. But it's okay to leave some fat on there, because fat actually gives meat flavor when you're cooking it. And it makes it taste really good. And I've got some seasoning here. It's steak seasoning, and it's made by Fiesta. You can pick this up at H-E-B. And it's got the Texas style steak seasoning with tenderizer in it. And we'll just go ahead and put a little bit of that on there. I'm going to give it a good season there. And then what we'll do after I've seasoned this is we'll go ahead and toss all this meat. And I didn't really mean for this to be a cooking video, but it's more or less to feature this knife that I just got. I wanted to do a short video on this, and since I'm going to be making fajitas for supper tonight, I decided just to cut up some stuff just to show you how well the knife works. And I'm seeing this for the first time myself, other than the videos that I watched on YouTube. And we're giving it some more seasoning there, and I'm just going to wash my hands. And we're going to move the meat to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and wash my knife, or rinse it at least. And we'll put this meat down in there, and then let's go ahead and wipe this board down. since there was raw meat on there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up some veggies. And I've got a plate here with onion and bell pepper. So we'll go ahead and cut up some of this onion. I had some onions in my refrigerator already. So we'll just cut these up, and you want to cut them long ways because you want these onions to be strips. And you can see I was being real careful. So there, we got some nice strips of onion, and I had some other onions here as well. We'll cut them the long way as also. Might as well use up those onions in the refrigerator. And we'll chop up this bell pepper. I already took the center out of it. And you want to cut this long ways also. And this was also just in my refrigerator, so we'll go ahead and get some nice strips of bell pepper. Those taste really good. I got most of the seeds out of these, or out of this pepper, I should say. Go slow, watch your fingers. And we'll cut this one up one more time. And like I said, if it cut through meat just fine, you know it's going to cut vegetables just fine. And I'm going to do another onion here. Got another whole onion. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the ends off here. Throw this to the side. And we'll go ahead and cut this long way, but we first of all have to get this outer coating off of here, off this onion. Bear with me. And we'll cut it long ways down. If I cut it in half, it's easier to peel it. So we'll just take off this outer layer. There we go. There we go. So now you just want to cut it into strips. This knife is doing a great job. And one of my favorite hobbies is cooking. I like to cook. I like to barbecue. Probably seen some of my other videos out there. So it's always good to have knives. That, you know, I have several different types of knives in my collection that I use for cooking, but this is the newest one and I'm really liking it so far. I like that little hole in there where I can use it as for chopping and dicing. And I've also got some links over here. This is from my deer that I got, and I made Italian sausage, homemade Italian sausage made from venison, and I'm gonna make some of those up tonight as well as the fajitas. I'm trying to eat up some of this meat, so I'm gonna take this thing, all this food outside, and we're gonna cook it up on the Blackstone. Maybe I'll get some video footage of that as well. But if you're looking for an affordable knife, so far so good with this. It's super sharp. And you probably have seen a lot of videos out there, like I said, but If you're watching my channel, if you're looking for a knife under $20, you can't beat it. If you're looking to cut meat, which I do a lot of meat cutting, give it a try. I mean, yeah, there's nothing really to lose other than $20. And like I said, you can sharpen these blades yourself, but I've really seen good reviews on this, so I don't think you're going to have to do a whole lot of sharpening on this. So give it a shot. I'm going to come back with some video with me cooking all this food, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're out here on my patio. This is my Blackstone grill. It's a flat griddle, and I'm going to go ahead and start the onions and the peppers. So we're going to go ahead and put some olive oil, nice and hot. So I've got some oil here. We're going to go ahead and just try to keep it on the grill here. And we're going to go ahead and add the onions and the peppers. We want those to kind of cook down so they become nice and soft. We're going to turn down the heat here a little bit. The goal is not to burn them. And we're going to spread those onions out. And I'm going to add a little oil right in the middle here. Olive oil's a good oil. And I've got some McCormick garlic salt here. I'm just going to go ahead and add some of that, give it some flavor. Be generous. And while those are cooking down, I'm going to start the sausage. So we got the sausages here. These are Italian sausage. And those are delicious. I made those homemade. And I got some cooking tongs. And the smell on this is amazing. It smells really good. And with these, if you wanted to steam these, you could also steam them if you have a lid, which I do, but I'm just going to cook them as is like that and render them down to a nice soft onion and pepper. And the beauty of these Blackstones, these flat griddles like this, you can turn off one side or you can turn it down really low. And you can keep food warm on one side and then on the other side continue to cook, which is probably what we're going to do. And just make sure when you're cooking with raw food, you cook it well. You don't want to undercook it. And I've also brought out some coarse black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and add that. That's the Fiesta brand as well. Who doesn't like pepper, right? And these are cooking nicely. Add a little bit more oil. Just drizzle it over the top to keep your veggies from burning up. And they get nice and coated. And right now I've got the heat on a medium, so it's at a good temperature right now. And these are starting to soften up now, so I'm going to go ahead and add the meat. So I've got my meat strips. We're going to move this over to make some room. Let's put all that meat in there. And you don't want to cook this super hard. You want that meat to be overcooked. You want it to be tender. We're going to go ahead and add some black pepper to that as well. And this looks absolutely amazing. And if you were standing right here, you would be enjoying the smell coming off of this grill. And add a little bit more of this garlic salt. I like flavor. And if you can't eat a lot of salt, then you just use garlic powder. That's fine too, or onion powder. Try to flatten these out so they all cook at the same time. And you know, we're going to use tortillas. We're going to make fajitas out of this. But you could also, you can even, like with the sausages, you can make a wrap. I love to eat sausage wrapped in a tortilla. It's so good. And then you throw some onions and some peppers in there with it. And so good. You can even throw some salsa over the top. But you could also use hoagie buns. And if you had some hoagie buns, you could also brown those up over here, off to the side. Kind of like a Philly cheesesteak. And these are really nice. I'm going to, give me 1 minute, I'm going to grab another plate for the onions and the peppers when I get ready to take those off. Actually, I could probably just use this one under here. And these are still firm. We're going to let them cook some more. But they are cooking nicely. And those sausages, they have venison and pork mixed in. And then I added Italian seasoning. You can look up a recipe online anywhere. You'll be able to come up with a good Italian seasoning recipe, just so whatever your liking is. And these are cooking nicely. So this makes a fine meal for your family. These are browning up nice. And it won't be long where we can plate this. Medium heat is all you need. And if you're wondering how much one of these grills costs, I picked mine up at Home Depot. It was about 250 bucks without the lid. And you put it together yourself. And I have a video on my channel where you can go and watch it. I'll link it into the description of this YouTube video. That way you can see how it's all put together. And I really like the flavor that comes off this meat. When it renders down, you can mix these onions in with it, like this. And that adds flavor. You can see all that juice coming off of there from that meat. That's going to add flavor to the onions. And look at that. That is delicious. And this is just about done. I think the sausages are getting close as well. Probably going to take a little bit longer than this meat. And since I'm the cook, I get to taste this first. So I got a little piece of meat here. Very good. The flavor of that is fantastic, that seasoning. This right here, Fiesta brand steak seasoning. All right. I think these are done. So I'm going to turn off the right side and I'm going to leave the left side on so that the sausages can cook a little bit longer. So right now we'll just leave this here. And I turn the heat up a little bit on the left side. So I'm going to go ahead and plate this. And we'll let this rest for about 5 minutes inside while these sausages cook up. And I might even need 2 plates. We'll see here. You don't want to lose any of this goodness. That's where these come in handy. These, you're able to scoop them up easier. And there you have it, plated. I'm going to take this onion. And that is extremely flavorful. So I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to go bring this inside. And in 5 minutes I will be back. I'll show you the final product. Okay, we're back. We got everything plated up. The sausages are done. And now we're going to make ourselves a tortilla. So we got some fajita meat. Got some tortillas that we cooked on a flat griddle. Get yourself one of them. Go ahead and put some of this fajita meat on there. Some onions. Some peppers. And then got some sour cream here of your choice. Doesn't have to be anything fancy for me. We'll put that on top. Then I've got some salsa here, whatever your favorite brand is, I'll put that on top. And then I got some different types of cheese. I got Monterey Jack, I got quesadilla. This is all shredded cheese. We're gonna go ahead and just sprinkle some of that on there. Give it some goodness. Got some side dishes here. We got some broccoli and cauliflower, and we got a I guess this would be like kind of like a cold salad with some made with shells and some bacon bits and stuff. So you can make whatever sides you like. And then I've got a sausage over here that I'm gonna have to cut these. Let's just trade spots here. And with the brand new knife, we'll just go ahead and cut one of these off because they are tied together, and that's super sharp. And we'll just put that right here to the side. So that's featuring this knife that I got. I'm really liking it, and you got to see a bonus of me making fajitas that I cut up with this knife. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get this ready for eating. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to my channel, and get yourself one of these knives. It's I'll put the description down below. And so far so good. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great Easter. Take care for now. We'll see you on the next one.